Have you ever done everything right, took your morning vitamins, ate a healthy breakfast, even stretched a little, and still felt tired, stiff, or foggy by noon? You're not alone. Millions of older Americans feel like their bodies are slipping, even though they're trying harder than ever to stay healthy. I've seen it in my patients, strong, determined people over 60 who followed every doctor's order, only to find themselves exhausted, forgetful, or waking up with joint pain that wasn't there yesterday. The hard truth. After 60, your body doesn't use supplements the same way it used to. And some of the most common vitamins, yes, even the ones labeled for seniors, can quietly do more harm than good. They build up in your liver, they stress your heart, they confuse your nerves, and by the time you feel the symptoms, the damage may already be underway. But here's the part that gives me hope. Once you understand how your body works after 60, you can take back control. You can stop what's hurting you and start supporting what keeps you strong. So, today, as your doctor and someone who's walked beside thousands of seniors on this journey, I'm going to show you the 4 vitamins you should avoid after 60 and the 4 that can help you stay sharper, steadier, and more alive every single day. If you've ever felt unsure about what's helping your health versus what's hurting it, this is the video you absolutely cannot skip. Now, let me ask you, have you ever taken a supplement and felt worse after a few weeks, or had blood tests show normal results while you still didn't feel right? If that's happened to you, write the number 1 in the comments. If not, write 0. I'd still love to know where you stand. Let's talk, let's get honest, and let's make sure you're not sabotaging your health while trying to protect it. Dangerous Vitamin 1, Vitamin A, the silent liver strainer. Now, let's talk about the first vitamin that might be doing more damage than you realize. It sounds friendly, it sounds essential, and it's sitting right there on your multivitamin label, Vitamin A. You've been told it helps your vision, supports your immune system, even keeps your skin young, and that's true in the right form and in the right amount. But after age 60, vitamin A doesn't always play nice. Let me explain why. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, not water-soluble. That means your body stores it mainly in the liver and fat tissues. It doesn't just pass through your system like vitamin C. It builds up day by day. And as we age, the liver gets slower. Your natural detox system doesn't clear things out the way it used to. So that healthy dose of vitamin A you take daily, it might not be going anywhere. It might just be piling up in your liver, clogging, stressing, and eventually harming it. Even worse, it can affect the very organs it claims to protect, like your heart and your eyes. A 2016 study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that excess vitamin A in older adults was linked to a 25% higher risk of atrial fibrillation, a dangerous heart rhythm problem that dramatically increases the chance of stroke. Let me say that again. A nutrient sold to help your heart could actually damage it if taken the wrong way. So, what's the fix? The good news is, your body only needs a small amount of beta-carotene, that's the plant-based form of vitamin A. And here's the magic. Your body only converts it to active vitamin A when it needs to. No excess to no overload. You can get it naturally from carrots, spinach, sweet potatoes, and eggs. And if you prefer a supplement, check the label. If it says retinol or retinol palmitate, and the amount is over 700 micrograms for women, or 900 micrograms for men, it's time to switch. Find one that uses beta-carotene instead, or better yet, ditch the pill and get it from your food. That's what I tell my patients every single week. Food first, pills second. Let your body do what it was designed to do, safely, naturally, and in balance. Dangerous vitamin 2 iron, when a helper turns against you. If you're over 60 and still taking a multivitamin with added iron just in case, I need you to hear this. Iron is one of those nutrients that seems innocent, even necessary. You've been told it helps with energy, supports your blood, and keeps you from getting tired. And yes, for younger people, and especially for women before menopause, that's absolutely true. But after 60, your relationship with iron changes, and if you don't adjust, it could slowly be poisoning you from the inside out. Here's what they don't tell you on the bottle. Your body has no natural way to get rid of excess iron unless you're bleeding. Before menopause, women lose iron through monthly cycles. And for men and older women, that exit route closes. So, what happens when you keep taking iron, but your body stops losing it? It builds up in your liver, your heart, and your pancreas. And that's where the real danger begins. Too much iron causes a process called oxidative stress. It damages your cells, it accelerates aging, it inflames your joints, it raises your risk for heart disease, Alzheimer's, and even certain cancers. And here's the worst part. Most of the symptoms look like just getting older. Tiredness, brain fog, joint pain, irregular heartbeat. So, people don't suspect the iron. Doctors rarely test for it. But I do. I've had patients come in with fatigue, memory slips, and aching hands. And after a simple test, we find iron levels twice what they should be. According to the National Institutes of Health, older adults who are not iron deficient should avoid iron-containing supplements unless directed by a doctor. So, what should you do? First, flip your multivitamin bottle over. If it says with iron and you haven't had blood loss from surgery, ulcers, or illness, it's time to stop. Next, ask your doctor for 2 simple blood tests, serum ferritin and transferrin saturation. These will tell you if iron is quietly building up in your system. And when it comes to food, your body handles it differently. Iron from spinach, lentils, beans, and lean meats comes with fiber, minerals, and natural buffers. You'll absorb what you need and excrete the rest. But the pill. It bypasses that natural balance. And that's when trouble starts. After 60, you don't need to fight harder. You need to get smarter. And cutting unnecessary iron is one smart move you can make today. Dangerous vitamin 3 calcium when strong bones cost you your heart. If you're over 60 and taking calcium every day because your doctor once told you it helps your bones, I want you to pause. This next part might surprise you, or even make you angry, because for decades, we've been told the same thing. Take calcium to protect your bones. It's printed on bottles, pushed in commercials, repeated in every clinic and pharmacy aisle across America, but no one told you what happens when that calcium ends up in the wrong place. Here's the problem. Calcium is a directional mineral. It has to be guided into your bones. And after age 60, that guidance system starts to break down. Hormonal shifts, slowed absorption, and aging bone tissue mean calcium doesn't always go where it should. So, where does it go instead? Into your arteries, into your joints, into your soft tissues. And when it lands there, it starts hardening. Your arteries lose flexibility. Your joints become inflamed. Your heart gets stiff. The British Medical Journal published a study showing that older adults who take calcium supplements without proper co-nutrients face a significantly higher risk of heart attacks and strokes. Let that sink in. The very pills meant to protect your bones might be choking your arteries instead. And it gets worse. Calcium can also cause bloating, constipation, and interfere with zinc and iron absorption. Plus, if you take acid blockers for reflux like many seniors do, your body may not absorb the calcium at all. So, you end up with the worst combination possible. No bone benefit, and more heart risk. But there's good news. You don't have to stop calcium. You just need to change how you take it. Here's what I tell my patients: food first, supplements later. Dark leafy greens like kale, bok choy, mustard greens, almonds, chia seeds, yogurt, and sardines with bones. Those are calcium rich and far safer. And if you still need a supplement, always pair calcium with vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. D3 helps you absorb it. K2 tells it where to go into the bones, not the arteries. Check your label. If your multivitamin has 500 to 1,000 milligrams of calcium but no D3 or K2, that's a red flag. After 60, smarter is better. Don't just pour more calcium into your body. Make sure it ends up where it belongs. Dangerous vitamin 4, vitamin B6, the nerve damage no one talks about. Let's talk about a vitamin that sounds harmless. even comforting vitamin B6. You see it in brain health supplements. It's marketed as something to support energy, soothe nerves, even help with numbness in the feet or hands. But after 60, this so-called nerve helper can quietly become a nerve killer if you're not careful. Here's why. Unlike other water-soluble vitamins that get flushed out when you have too much, vitamin B6 doesn't behave the same way, especially not in older adults. It can accumulate in your nerve tissues, and when it does, it starts to cause toxicity. We're not talking about a sudden reaction. We're talking about slow, silent damage. One clinical study published in Neurology found that doses as low as 50 milligrams per day, which is half the upper safe limit, can lead to nerve damage in older adults over time. And this kind of damage, it often starts with a whisper. You may feel a slight tingling in your toes, a strange numbness in your fingertips, a slight imbalance when walking, burning in your feet that no lotion can fix. At first, people thought it's arthritis, or aging, or diabetic nerve pain. But in many cases, it's actually vitamin B6 toxicity. The scary part, it can take months or even years for the damage to show up, and even longer to reverse, if it can be reversed at all. And you know what makes it worse. B6 is everywhere. It's in your multivitamin, in energy drinks, in nerve support capsules, even in meal shakes designed for seniors. So, the dose stacks up fast. For older adults, all your body really needs is about 1.5 milligrams per day for women and 1.7 milligrams for men. But many supplements out there contain 10, 20, even 50 milligrams per serving. So here's what I want you to do. Go grab your multivitamin right now. Look at the label. If you see vitamin B6 listed as more than 5 milligrams, and you're also taking other supplements or drinks with B6, it's time to rethink. Unless your doctor has specifically tested your levels and prescribed a high dose, you do not need that much. And don't worry, you can still get what your body needs from real food. Bananas, turkey, chickpeas, tuna, no side effects, no overload. Just steady, natural support. When it comes to your nervous system, less is often more. Don't let a friendly-sounding vitamin rob you of your balance, your independence, or your peace of mind. Essential vitamin 1, magnesium, the missing link to stronger sleep, heart, and mood. So far, we've talked about what to avoid. Now let's talk about what your body is begging you to restore. Because here's the truth, most doctors don't say loud enough. Magnesium deficiency is one of the most overlooked, most misdiagnosed, and most harmful problems facing people over 60 today. And I don't say that lightly. As a doctor with over 30 years in the field, I've seen more older adults walk through my doors with fatigue, anxiety, muscle cramps, irregular heartbeat, and insomnia, only to find out the root cause wasn't aging. It was low in magnesium. Let's unpack why this matters. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzyme reactions in the body. It regulates heart rhythm. It supports nerve function. It helps your muscles relax, not just contract. It balances blood sugar, blood pressure, and even plays a role in bone strength. Sounds important, right? Because it is. But here's the catch. As we age, our ability to absorb magnesium from food drops dramatically. Plus, many common medications used by seniors, like diuretics for blood pressure, proton pump inhibitors for reflux, or certain antibiotics strip magnesium from the body even faster. On top of that, most of the soil used in American agriculture today is magnesium depleted. So even the spinach or beans you eat may not contain the levels they used to decades ago. The result? A silent epidemic of magnesium deficiency. One that's been misdiagnosed as just getting older. So, how do you know if you're low in magnesium? Listen to your body. Do you get leg cramps at night? Feel your heart racing for no reason? Struggle with restless sleep? Or wake up feeling more tired than when you went to bed? Feel anxious, edgy, or just off, but can't explain why? Those aren't just quirks of aging. They're warning signs. And here's what's even more promising. When magnesium is restored, most people feel better in days. They sleep deeper. Their heartbeat steadies. They stop waking up with tense muscles or nagging twitches. Their mood improves. Their mind gets clearer. This is not wishful thinking. It's clinical, it's proven, and it's accessible. Now, let's talk solutions. First, aim to get magnesium through real food, spinach, avocados, black beans, pumpkin seeds, almonds. But honestly, for most seniors, food alone is not enough. So, what kind of magnesium supplement should you take? Avoid magnesium oxide. It's cheap, but poorly absorbed and causes digestive upset. Instead, look for magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate, or magnesium malate. These are bioavailable and gentle on the stomach. For most people over 60, the sweet spot is around 250 to 400 milligrams per day, depending on your diet, medications, and health conditions. Take it with food, ideally in the evening. And feel the difference not in months, but in days. Essential vitamin 2, vitamin D3, the immune and mood booster hiding in plain sight. Let's talk about a vitamin you've probably heard of, but maybe never truly understood. Vitamin D3. Most people think of it as the sunshine vitamin. Good for bones, maybe helpful for colds. But after 60, D3 becomes a life-defining hormone. Yes, hormone, not just a vitamin. Why? Because vitamin D3 controls over 200 genes in your body. It affects bone health, muscle strength, immune defense, inflammation, brain function, and even mood. The problem. After 60, your body stops making enough of it. You spend more time indoors. Your skin thins and loses the ability to convert sunlight into D3. You might wear sunscreen, live in cloudy regions, or take medications that block conversion. Result: even if you live in sunny Arizona or Florida, you could still be severely deficient. Now here's what makes this dangerous. Vitamin D3 deficiency doesn't feel like a punch. It feels like a slow fade. You start to feel tired more often. You sleep but don't feel rested. You may notice your balance is off, or your muscles feel weak, even when you haven't done anything strenuous. Your joints hurt. Your mood dips. You can't focus like before. You get colds or infections more easily. Most people write this off as just getting older. But it's not just age. It's the absence of something essential. In fact, a major review published in the British Medical Journal found that older adults with healthy vitamin D3 levels had up to 30% lower risk of death from all causes and 50% fewer lung infections. That's not a small benefit. That's life-changing. So how much do you actually need? The typical multivitamin gives you 400 to 800 IU. That's barely enough to maintain what you have, definitely not enough to correct a deficiency. Most people over 60 need at least 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day, especially if they live in northern climates, rarely go outside, or have darker skin. And not just any D. You need vitamin D3, also called cholecalciferol, not D2, not ergocalciferol. D3 is the form your body naturally makes from sunlight and absorbs most efficiently. Take it with food that has healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, or nuts because it's fat-soluble. And remember, more is not always better. Stick within safe ranges unless advised by a doctor. The key isn't just taking a pill. It's making sure your body uses it the way it should. When you restore your vitamin D3 levels, you don't just strengthen your bones. You lift your mood. You sharpen your thinking. You wake up feeling like your body works again. That's what real health looks like after 60. And it starts with something as simple as sunshine in a bottle. Essential vitamin 3, vitamin B12, the energy switch your body can't flip without. If you've ever stood up and felt your legs were too heavy, if you've walked into a room and forgotten why, if your hands or feet tingle or just feel off, there's a good chance your body isn't low on willpower. It's low on vitamin B12. And I need you to know, this is not rare. It's one of the most common silent deficiencies in people over 60. Even people who eat well, even people who never miss a meal. Because here's what changes with age. Your stomach produces less acid. And without that stomach acid, your body can't extract B12 from food no matter how healthy that food is. Vitamin B12 is essential for making red blood cells, protecting your nerves, supporting balance and coordination, helping your brain stay sharp, producing steady energy levels. But once levels drop, the symptoms sneak in. You may feel more tired than usual. You may have trouble focusing or remembering names. You may feel off balance. You may even feel depressed without knowing why. It's slow. It's subtle. But it's not just aging. It's a warning. The good news: vitamin B12 is easy to test and easy to fix. A simple blood test can show your levels. And because B12 is water-soluble, your body flushes out the excess. So, overdosing is extremely rare. Most adults over 60 benefit from 500 to 1,000 micrograms per day, especially if they're already low. If you're very deficient, your doctor might recommend B12 injections to bring levels back up faster. As for supplements, look for methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin. These are the forms your body absorbs best. And if you don't like swallowing pills, try sublingual tablets. They dissolve under your tongue and absorb directly into your bloodstream. Now, let me be clear. This isn't just about energy. Vitamin B12 plays a direct role in your nervous system. That means your balance, your gait, your reflexes, and even how your hands work. If you ignore a deficiency too long, the nerve damage can become permanent. But when you catch it early, when you restore your levels, you can feel the difference fast. You walk steadier. You think sharper. You feel like yourself again. And that's what we want, right? Not just to live long, but to live clear, strong, and in control. Essential nutrient 4, omega-3, the lifeline for your heart, brain, and longevity. If there's one supplement I recommend the most, not just for health, but for living longer, clearer, and steadier, it's this one: omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These aren't just good fats. They're essential building blocks of your brain, your heart tissue, your eyes, and even your immune system. And after 60, they become critical. Here's why. Omega-3s reduce inflammation, the root of so many age-related diseases. They keep your blood flowing smoothly. They help lower triglycerides, support normal heart rhythm, and even improve joint comfort. But the most amazing benefit: they protect your brain and prolong life. A large European study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 42,000 adults aged 60 and above. It found that those with higher levels of omega-3s in their blood had a 36% lower risk of death from all causes. That's not just heart protection. That's total body resilience. Another major study in Circulation showed that older adults with higher omega-3 intake had up to 45% lower risk of fatal heart attacks. Let that sink in. Almost half the risk cut just by adding the right fats. So, where do you get omega-3s? The best sources are cold water, fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, trout. Eating these 2 to 3 times per week is ideal. But let's be honest, most seniors don't eat that much fish. That's why a high-quality omega-3 supplement is a smart move. Look for one that provides at least 1,000 milligrams per day of combined EPA and DHA. If you have heart issues or inflammation, you may need up to 2,000 milligrams. Ask your doctor. Make sure it's molecularly distilled to remove mercury and toxins. In triglyceride form for better absorption. From a trusted source with purity testing. And if you're vegan or allergic to fish, there are great algae-based options that deliver DHA and some EPA too. Take your omega-3s with meals to improve absorption. And here's what many patients tell me. They sleep better, they move more freely, they feel more in tune with their own minds again. Because omega-3s don't just support the brain, they build it. Every nerve signal, every memory, every clear thought you want to keep. It needs this fat. So, if there's one supplement that touches nearly every corner of your health, from your heartbeat to your peace of mind, this is it. Bringing it all together. Live stronger, longer, and clearer. After 60, You've just walked with me through 8 powerful truths. 4 vitamins that might be slowly hurting your body. 4 that could help rebuild your energy, protect your heart, sharpen your mind, and even prolong your life. And here's the most important part. You don't need to do all of this at once. This is not about perfection, it's about awareness. And from awareness comes choice. You don't need to flip your entire routine overnight. But maybe you start by checking that one bottle in your cabinet. Maybe you call your doctor to ask for a test you've never thought to request. Maybe you swap a pill for a handful of spinach. That one small choice can change everything. You're not too old to make a difference in your health. You're not too far gone. You're not broken. You're just underinformed. And now that you know more, you can do more. I've seen 75-year-olds reverse fatigue, walk without pain, sleep through the night, and feel younger than they did at 60. Not because they found magic, but because they finally understood how their bodies were working, and they made smart, gentle shifts. So, here's what I want to ask you. What will you change first? Write it in the comments below. If you found something here that surprised you, type yes in the comments. If something gave you hope, type hope. And if this video helped you, even just a little, tap the like button. It tells YouTube this is worth sharing with someone else. Someone who may be just as confused or tired or ready to change as you were. And if you want more honest, science-backed advice on how to stay strong, sharp, and supported as you age, subscribe to this channel. We're here every week, and we've got your back. Because aging well isn't about fighting time. It's about understanding your body and making it your ally. You've still got decades ahead. Let's make them count.